Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are applying that exact psychological game-like level structure to David, the Shepherd King. This isn't the sanitized Sunday school story you grew up with. This is a visceral, gritty, level-by-level breakdown of a poetic warrior who rose from the sheepfolds to build an empire, only to watch his own house tear itself apart from the inside. Let's step into the sandals of Israel's most complex king. Level 1. The Lion of Bethlehem. You are 15, tending sheep in the rocky wilderness of Bethlehem, while your older brothers chase glory in the king's army. When a lion leaps from the bushes to steal a lamb, you do not run. You seize it and fight with hands covered in dust. Out here, there are no armies to save your flock, and the wilderness does not negotiate. You carry only a simple leather sling and a shepherd's staff. When the prophet Samuel comes searching for a king, your father does not even think to call you. You are left outside with the sheep. But when the oil is poured over your head, it carries the fragrance of myrrh and destiny. You learn early that people look at outward appearance, but God sees the heart. The future belongs to those who remain faithful in the darkness when no one is watching. Level 2. The Giant's Valley. You are 17. The Valley of Elah smells of sweat, iron, and fear. A giant dressed in bronze stands on the opposite ridge. His voice shakes the valley as he mocks your God and terrifies Israel's army. Your brothers tell you to return to the sheep. Instead, you walk down to the dry stream bed. You do not choose a sword or a heavy bronze helmet. They do not fit you, and they would only become a prison. You pick up 5 smooth stones, cold and heavy in your hand. Then you run toward the shouting giant. The leather sling spins through the air. One stone flies forward and strikes the giant's forehead. He collapses like a great cedar tree. You stand over him, take his own sword, and end the battle. The crowd roars, but you are already looking beyond the noise. You have just entered the dangerous world of kings, armies, and power. Level 3. The Javelin's Shadow. You are 20. King Saul's palace is beautiful, but it has become a golden prison. You play the harp to calm the troubled king. Your fingers move across the strings while his eyes follow your every breath. Saul hears the crowd singing that he has defeated thousands, but David has defeated tens of thousands. Jealousy grows inside him like an incurable disease. In the middle of your music, Saul raises his arm. A heavy iron spear flies toward your chest. You escape by a heartbeat, and the spear drives deeply into the wall behind you. At that moment, you understand that playing music for a dying kingdom is a dangerous game. You gather your belongings in the darkness and run. Level 4. The Dust of Adullam. You are 22. You are now a fugitive, sleeping in the dark and narrow caves of Adullam. You have no kingdom, no throne, and no crown. But troubled, broken, and debt-ridden people begin to find you in the darkness. 400 outcasts gather around you. You do not build an army from wealthy nobles. You build it from rejected and desperate men. You sleep with your hand near your sword. Your skin becomes hard beneath the desert sun. You learn how to survive with almost nothing and how to find water among the rocks. Saul hunts you like an animal. But while he searches for you, you are learning every road, valley, and hiding place of your future kingdom. Level 5. The Piece of Purple Cloth. You are 25. The caves of En-Gedi are completely dark. Saul enters the same cave where you and your men are hiding, unaware that you are nearby. Your men whisper that God has delivered your enemy into your hands. They want you to kill him. You quietly move forward with your knife, but you do not strike Saul. Instead, you cut off a corner of his royal purple robe. When Saul leaves the cave and steps into the sunlight, you come out and hold the piece of cloth high in the air. You bow before the man who wants you dead. You show him that his life was in your hands, but you chose to spare him. Saul weeps and calls you his son, but you do not come down from the rocks. You know that the tears of an unstable king can disappear faster than the morning dew. Level 6. The Crown of Blood. You are 30. The mountains of Gilboa are covered with the remains of Israel's defeated army. Saul is dead. The crown is brought to you, but it is heavy with the blood of civil war. For 7 years you fight against the remaining supporters of Saul. Brother fights against brother. Family fights against family. You do not win the kingdom through one great speech or one dramatic battle. You win through patience, endurance, and the gradual weakening of your enemies. City by city, the elders realize that the former shepherd is the only leader capable of stopping the bloodshed. They gather before you in Hebron and anoint you king. You finally sit upon the throne, but the road leading to it has been covered with suffering and death. Level 7. The Iron Fortress. You are 37. The fortress of Jebus stands on a rocky hill. Its walls are so strong that the defenders mock you. They claim that even the blind and the weak could protect the city from your army. You do not waste your soldiers in a direct attack. You study the land and discover a water shaft leading into the heart of the city. Your commander Joab enters through the narrow and dangerous passage. The gates are opened from the inside. Jebus falls, and you rename it Jerusalem. You have established a capital that belongs not to one tribe, but to the entire kingdom. You have reached the height of power. Level 8. The Summer Roof. You are 48. It is spring, the season when kings normally lead their armies into battle, but you remain behind in your cedar palace. One evening, you walk across the roof and look down upon the city. There, you see Bathsheba bathing. In a single moment, the discipline of a lifetime begins to collapse. You send your servants to bring her to the palace. You take what does not belong to you. When she later tells you that she is pregnant, you do not confess your sin. Instead, you send secret instructions to Joab. Bathsheba's husband Uriah is to be placed at the fiercest part of the battle. Then the other soldiers are to withdraw and leave him to die. Uriah falls in battle, and you marry his widow. You believe that the secret has been buried on a distant battlefield, but some blood cannot be washed away. Level 9. The Unspoken Curse. You are 49. The prophet Nathan stands before your throne. He tells you about a rich man who stole a poor man's only beloved lamb. Your anger rises, and you declare that the guilty man deserves punishment. Nathan raises his hand, points directly at you, and says, "You are the man." The throne room becomes silent. Your hidden sin has been exposed. The child born to Bathsheba dies, despite your fasting and weeping on the ground. Nathan's warning continues to echo in your mind. The sword will never depart from your house. The kingdom you built through strength is beginning to decay from within. Level 10. The Hair in the Oak Tree. You are 60. Your own son Absalom has stolen the hearts of the people. He stands near the city gate, listening to their complaints and suggesting that the aging king no longer understands their needs. The rebellion spreads quickly. You are forced to flee from your own capital. You climb the Mount of Olives, barefoot and weeping, just as you once fled from Saul as a young man. Your army and Absalom's forces meet in the forest of Ephraim. During the battle, Absalom rides beneath the branches of a great oak tree. His thick hair becomes caught in the branches, and his mule continues without him. He is left hanging helplessly between heaven and earth. Joab finds him and kills him, ignoring your direct command to protect your son. When the news reaches you, your victory becomes meaningless. You cry out, "My son Absalom! My son Absalom!" I wish I had died instead of you. You have won the battle, but you have lost your son. Level 11. The Shivering Hearth. You are 70. You lie in a great cedar bed, but warmth has left your body. Your servants cover you with thick blankets, yet you cannot become warm. The struggle for the throne has already begun. Your surviving son, Adonijah, gathers chariots and supporters and declares himself king while you are still alive. Bathsheba kneels beside your bed and reminds you of your promise that her son, Solomon, will inherit the throne. Although your body is weak, your mind remains sharp. You command that Solomon be placed upon your royal mule and publicly anointed as king. The rebellion quickly collapses. Even from your bed, your final command changes the future of the kingdom. Level 12. The Iron Testament. You are still 70. The room is quiet, except for your shallow breathing. Solomon stands beside your bed. His hands are still clean, and his face has not yet been shaped by war. You tell him to be strong and to walk faithfully before God. But you also remind him of the unfinished conflicts of your reign. You speak of Joab, who shed innocent blood, and Shimei, who cursed you while you fled from Absalom. You warn Solomon not to ignore the dangerous men who may threaten his throne. You built an empire through courage, battle, patience, and blood. Now you prepare your son to protect what you have built. Level 13. The Silent Tomb. You close your eyes in the city you conquered. The cold wind moves through the limestone valleys of Zion. You rose from the dust of the sheepfold. You defeated the giant, received the crown, established Jerusalem, and wrote